You wake up tomorrow morning, sunlight slipping through the curtains, and before checking your phone or brewing your usual cup of coffee, you pour yourself a simple glass of warm water with a squeeze of lemon. Within weeks, you notice something subtle but undeniable. Your stomach feels flatter, your energy more stable, your cravings quieter. This isn't one of those miracle detox claims or another social media trend that fades by next month. Scientists now understand that the very first drink you put into your body each morning sets off a cascade of biological switches that determine whether your body will spend the next few hours burning fat or storing it. I'm Dr. Barbara O'Neill, and my mission is to help you enjoy a healthier, more vibrant old age through simple, natural wisdom that actually works. I'd love to know who's watching today. Drop a comment below and tell me your age and where you're tuning in from. I read every single comment, and it warms my heart to see where this message is reaching people around the world. Now let's dive in and discover these powerful morning drinks that can truly transform how your body handles fat. Picture this. You're standing in your kitchen, barely awake, and you reach for that first glass of the day. What you choose in that moment matters more than you might think. A study from the University of Toronto in 2023 found something remarkable. What people consumed within the first 45 minutes of waking changed their metabolic rate by up to 34% over the next 4 hours, even when total calories stayed exactly the same. Think about that. Same food, same amounts, but completely different results just because of timing. Another study tracked older adults for 12 weeks and discovered that those who hydrated strategically right after waking lost 44% more belly fat than those who didn't bother. These aren't small differences. These are life-changing shifts that happen simply because you made a better choice before breakfast. The beautiful part is you don't need fancy supplements or expensive powders gathering dust in your pantry. These fat-burning triggers are found in simple natural drinks already sitting in your kitchen right now. And one of them, the third one I'll share, is the one almost everyone ignores. Yet science shows it can completely change how your body burns and stores fat. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll understand exactly how to use these drinks in the right order to create a natural rhythm that works with your body instead of against it. Let me start with warm lemon water. It's simple, it's cheap, and it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Warm lemon water might not sound revolutionary, but it's one of the most effective ways to naturally wake up your metabolism before breakfast. When you drink it first thing in the morning, before coffee, before food, it acts like a gentle internal alarm clock for your digestive system. Imagine your body as a house that's been sleeping all night. Everything is still and quiet. That glass of warm lemon water is like opening the windows and letting fresh air flow through every room. Here's what actually happens inside your body when you drink it. The mild acidity of lemon juice signals your liver to begin producing bile. Now, bile is the digestive fluid responsible for breaking down fats. Think of bile as your body's natural fat processing detergent. When your liver starts producing it early in the morning, it primes your metabolism for efficient fat burning throughout the day instead of sluggishly storing energy as fat. A clinical study from 2022, published in the Journal of Clinical Biochemistry and Nutrition, found that participants with higher vitamin C levels, a nutrient abundant in lemon juice, burned 30% more fat during moderate exercise compared to those deficient in it, 30% more fat burned doing the exact same activity. Researchers believe vitamin C helps your body synthesize something called carnitine, a molecule that transports fatty acids into your cells to be used for fuel. In other words, when you start your morning with lemon water, You're not just hydrating, you're literally activating your body's fat-burning engine. But that's not all lemon water does for you. It also helps reset your body's pH balance after a night's sleep and flushes out metabolic waste that accumulated overnight while you were resting. This early hydration kickstarts digestion, improves skin tone over time, and can even help reduce bloating, one of the biggest visual culprits behind belly fat. You know that puffy feeling you sometimes wake up with? Lemon water helps smooth that out naturally. To prepare it properly, squeeze half a fresh lemon into a glass of warm water, not boiling. The temperature matters here because hot water can destroy vitamin C, while cold water can slow digestion first thing in the morning when your body is just waking up. Drink it on an empty stomach, ideally within the first 10 minutes of waking. Then wait about 15 to 20 minutes before eating breakfast or having coffee. This gives your liver time to respond and do its job. Some people like to add a small spoon of honey for taste. But if your goal is fat loss, skip the sugar entirely. A tiny drop of raw honey is fine if you really need sweetness, but avoid refined sweeteners or syrups. They'll immediately spike insulin, halting the very fat-burning process you're trying to start. If you want to take it up a notch, add a pinch of cayenne pepper or some grated ginger if you can handle a little spice. Both increase thermogenesis, which is the process your body uses to generate heat and burn calories. This boosts the effect of the lemon water even further. And consistency is key here. Studies show that people who follow this habit for just 2 weeks see measurable improvements in digestion and energy levels. After a month, many report their midsection feeling noticeably lighter and flatter. It's not magic. It's your body responding to consistent care. Now let's move to something that's been scientifically proven to supercharge fat burning and might already be sitting in your pantry right now. Green tea isn't just a soothing drink you sip while reading the paper. It's one of the most researched natural fat burners on the planet. Its secret lies in a powerful antioxidant compound with a very long name, epigallocatechin gallate, but most people just call it EGCG. This molecule doesn't just help protect your cells from aging, it directly influences how your body breaks down and uses stored fat. A groundbreaking study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults who drank green tea daily burned an extra 70 to 100 calories per day, even without exercising more or changing their diet. That might sound minor at first glance, but over time it compounds. We're talking about the equivalent of 7 to 10 pounds of fat loss per year from one simple habit. That's real weight, real change, just from adding a cup of tea to your morning routine. What's even more fascinating is how green tea works hand in hand with your body's natural hormones. The mild caffeine it contains combines with EGCG to trigger fat oxidation, which is the process where your body converts stored fat into usable energy. This effect is especially potent around the belly area where fat cells are notoriously resistant to break down. We all know that stubborn belly fat that refuses to budge no matter what we do. Green tea helps target that specific area. A 2021 analysis reviewing 26 clinical trials found that green tea extract consistently reduced visceral fat, the deep abdominal fat linked to metabolic diseases, while also improving insulin sensitivity. Better insulin response means your body handles sugar more efficiently and stores less fat overall. For best results, have your first cup of green tea about 30 minutes after your lemon water. This keeps your body in a lightly fasted state where fat oxidation is most active. Your body is still in fat-burning mode, and the green tea amplifies that natural process. If you're sensitive to caffeine and tend to get jittery, choose matcha instead. Matcha is a finely ground whole leaf version of green tea. It contains less caffeine but significantly more antioxidants, giving you all the benefits without the uncomfortable buzz. When you prepare your green tea, steep it for about 3 minutes at 80 degrees Celsius, which is 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Boiling water can destroy the delicate catechins that make it effective, so don't pour boiling water directly over the tea leaves. Let the water cool for a minute first. Drink it warm, not piping hot, and avoid adding sugar or milk. I know some people love a sweet milky tea, but those additions block the fat-burning benefits. If you want to enhance absorption, add a squeeze of lemon. This actually helps stabilize the catechins during digestion so your body can use them more effectively. Here's the science behind why green tea works so well. EGCG inhibits an enzyme called COMT that normally breaks down norepinephrine, a neurotransmitter that signals fat cells to release stored fat. By blocking this enzyme, green tea keeps norepinephrine active longer, meaning your body stays in fat-burning mode for an extended period. In simple terms, your body taps into stored fat more efficiently and for longer stretches of time throughout the day. It's like keeping the fat-burning switch flipped on instead of letting it turn off every hour. If you really want to maximize the effect, pair your green tea with a short walk or light movement in the morning. In studies, participants who drank green tea and then performed even low-intensity exercise experienced a 17% increase in fat oxidation compared to exercise alone. Just a gentle walk around the block while sipping your tea can make a measurable difference. Aim for 1 to 2 cups daily, ideally in the morning and early afternoon. Drinking it too late in the day may interfere with sleep for people who are caffeine sensitive, and good sleep is essential for healthy metabolism. Now let me share the drink that's often overlooked, yet has some of the most dramatic fat-burning results ever recorded. This is the one that quietly changes the way your body stores fat, and most people have never even considered using it. Apple cider vinegar water? I know what you're thinking. Vinegar? Really? But stay with me, because this is one of the most effective natural fat-burning drinks ever studied, backed by solid science that's hard to ignore. Apple cider vinegar, or ACV for short, contains a unique compound called acetic acid. It's what gives vinegar its sharp, tangy taste, but more importantly, it's the reason scientists are now calling ACV one of nature's simplest metabolic regulators. Acetic acid helps balance blood sugar, suppress appetite naturally, and increase the rate at which your body burns stored fat. These aren't minor benefits. These are fundamental shifts in how your metabolism operates day to day. In one landmark Japanese study published in Bioscience, Biotechnology, and Biochemistry, researchers followed 175 overweight adults for 12 weeks. Half the group took 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar each day, while the others drank a placebo that looked and tasted similar but had no active ingredients. The results were truly eye-opening. The vinegar group lost an average of 4 pounds of body fat, reduced their waist size by over an inch, and saw a 26% drop in triglycerides, all without changing their diet or activity level. They didn't exercise more, they didn't eat less, they just added vinegar to their daily routine and their bodies responded. The secret lies in how acetic acid interacts with your hormones. When you drink ACV before meals, it slows the release of sugar into your bloodstream, keeping your insulin levels stable. And when insulin is stable, your body can stay in fat-burning mode longer, instead of constantly switching to storage mode every time you eat. Acetic acid also activates an enzyme called AMPK inside your cells. This enzyme tells your body to stop storing fat and start using it for energy. Think of it as flipping your internal fat switch from storage mode to burn mode. Drinking apple cider vinegar also helps you feel full faster and stay satisfied longer. In another study, people who consumed it before a meal reported naturally eating 200 to 300 fewer calories that day without even trying to restrict themselves. They weren't hungry, they just felt satisfied sooner. Scientists believe this happens because acetic acid increases a hormone called GLP-1, which signals your brain that you've had enough to eat. It's a natural appetite regulator built right into your own biology, and vinegar helps activate it. To make it properly, mix 1 tablespoon of raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar into a large glass of water, around 250 milliliters, and drink it about 20 minutes before your first meal of the day. Always dilute it. This is important because the acidity is strong enough to damage tooth enamel if you take it straight. I've seen people try to drink it undiluted and regret it immediately. If you're new to the taste, start with half a tablespoon and work your way up over a few days. You can add a squeeze of lemon or a pinch of cinnamon if you want extra flavor, but skip any sugar. Even a little bit of sugar defeats the entire purpose by spiking insulin right back up. It's simple, but it works because it trains your metabolism to rely on stored fat for energy instead of quick glucose spikes from constant snacking. Within 2 weeks, most people notice they feel lighter overall. Their cravings for sweets and carbs decrease noticeably, and their morning energy stabilizes without the usual mid-morning crash. Give it a month and your belly starts to look and feel different. Clothes fit better. Bloating reduces. You feel more comfortable in your own skin. Now, if apple cider vinegar helps regulate fat storage, our next drink is what helps release it. It's something you probably already drink, but maybe not in a way that actually helps your metabolism work efficiently. Black coffee. Coffee is powerful, but it can be a double-edged sword depending on how you use it. Used correctly, it's one of the most effective natural metabolism boosters on earth. Used carelessly with sugar, milk, or flavored syrups, it can turn into a metabolic disaster that sabotages everything you're trying to accomplish. Caffeine, the active ingredient in coffee, works by signaling your adrenal glands to release small bursts of adrenaline. That adrenaline tells your fat cells to break down stored triglycerides and release fatty acids into your bloodstream. Your muscles then use those fatty acids for fuel instead of relying solely on sugar. In other words, coffee helps unlock stored fat so it can be burned for energy throughout the day. A study from the University of Granada in 2020 confirmed this in a simple but striking way. Participants who drank a strong cup of black coffee 30 minutes before exercise burned 29% more fat than those who didn't have any coffee. The results were consistent across both men and women. The reason is straightforward. Caffeine boosts adrenaline and increases your metabolic rate by up to 11% for several hours after drinking it. Your body naturally burns more calories just sitting there doing nothing, but here's the catch, and this is where most people go wrong. Coffee only works as a fat-burning tool when insulin levels are low. The moment you add sugar, cream, or flavored syrups, insulin spikes and your body switches right back into fat storage mode. All the benefits vanish instantly. That's why people who drink fancy lattes every morning, loaded with sweeteners and milk, often struggle to lose belly fat despite drinking coffee regularly. They're getting the caffeine, but cancelling out the fat-burning effect with all the additions. To get the real benefits, keep it simple. Drink your coffee black or with just a splash of unsweetened almond milk if you absolutely need something to soften the taste. Avoid sugar entirely. No honey, no syrup, no sweeteners of any kind. If you want a bit of natural flavour, add a sprinkle of cinnamon or a small dash of unsweetened cocoa powder. Both of these actually help stabilize blood sugar and enhance fat oxidation rather than blocking it. Timing matters too, and this is something most people don't realize. Have your coffee mid-morning, not immediately after waking up. Here's why. When you first wake, your body's cortisol, the hormone that helps you feel alert and ready to face the day, is naturally high. Adding caffeine on top of that peak cortisol can spike it even further, which can raise blood sugar and interfere with fat burning later in the day. It can also make you feel wired and anxious instead of energized and focused. By waiting about an hour to 90 minutes after waking, you let cortisol naturally drop to normal levels, allowing caffeine to work cleanly without stress hormone interference. For even better results, pair your cup of coffee with a bit of movement. Drink your coffee, then take a 10-minute walk around your neighborhood or even just around your house. Caffeine increases the availability of fatty acids in your blood, and light movement signals your muscles to burn them for fuel. Together, they multiply each other's effects. It's not about intense exercise. It's about gentle, consistent movement that tells your body to use the energy it just released. Black coffee also improves endurance, focus, and motivation naturally. People who drink it before light exercise or even morning chores tend to move more and burn more calories over time without forcing themselves to work out hard. That's the real secret here. Small metabolic nudges that stack up throughout the day and create lasting change without exhausting you. But don't overdo it. More isn't always better when it comes to caffeine. Beyond 3 cups a day, caffeine can start to raise stress hormones too much, disrupt your sleep quality, and actually slow long-term progress. Remember, fat loss happens when your body feels safe, rested, and balanced, not wired and stressed. Chronic stress from too much caffeine can actually make you hold on to belly fat because cortisol signals your body to store energy for emergencies. So drink your coffee wisely. Make it strong, clean, and timed right, and it becomes one of the most reliable metabolism accelerators you'll ever use. Now that you understand what each drink does on its own, here's where the real magic happens. When you combine them in the right order throughout your morning, you're not just adding small habits randomly. You're building a metabolic rhythm that matches the way your body is already designed to function naturally. Human metabolism follows what scientists call the circadian rhythm. Early in the morning, hormones like cortisol and adrenaline naturally rise to help you wake up and feel alert. That's when your body is naturally primed to burn fat for energy rather than store it. Later in the day, insulin sensitivity drops, meaning calories are more likely to be stored as fat instead of burned. So the secret is to support what your body already wants to do. Burn fat in the morning and stabilize energy the rest of the day without wild swings. The rhythm is simple and feels natural once you start. When you wake up, start with warm lemon water. It hydrates you after hours of sleep, signals your liver to produce bile, and primes your digestive system to function smoothly. 15 minutes later, move on to green tea. The antioxidants and gentle caffeine wake up your metabolism without spiking your stress hormones or making you feel jittery. Around mid-morning, once your natural cortisol has dropped a bit, switch to black coffee. That's your ignition phase, when your body is ready to release stored fat and use it for energy throughout the day. Just before lunch, drink your apple cider vinegar water. It helps flatten blood sugar spikes from the upcoming meal and keeps insulin levels steady so you stay in fat burning mode longer instead of switching to storage after eating. When you follow this pattern daily for 1 week, you'll start to feel the shift happening inside you. More energy in the morning without needing to drag yourself out of bed. steadier focus throughout the day, without brain fog. A lighter, less bloated stomach that feels comfortable instead of heavy. These aren't subtle changes, they're noticeable improvements that build momentum every single day. But if you want to take it even further, there are 2 more morning drinks that fit seamlessly into this rhythm. They're optional, but the studies behind them are so compelling that many nutrition experts now call them the missing links in natural fat metabolism. Let me share them with you because they're simple to make and remarkably effective. Cinnamon honey water. It's warm, sweet, and comforting, like a hug in a mug. But beneath that familiar flavour, cinnamon and honey together form a metabolic powerhouse that works quietly in the background all day long. Cinnamon contains compounds called cinnamaldehyde and cinnamic acid. These compounds improve insulin sensitivity, lower fasting blood sugar, and reduce chronic inflammation, the 3 conditions that quietly stall fat loss for millions of adults without them even realizing it. In a 2022 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers found that older adults who consume just half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon daily reduced fasting blood sugar by 23% and inflammatory markers by nearly 20% within just 6 weeks. That's a massive improvement for such a small daily action. Honey, on the other hand, provides natural glucose and antioxidants that feed your liver's glycogen stores. This keeps your blood sugar stable and prevents those sudden energy crashes that make you reach for sugary snacks mid-morning. When cinnamon and honey are combined, they create what scientists call a glycemic buffer. Instead of the typical spike and crash pattern most people experience after eating, you get a smooth energy curve that lasts for hours. To prepare it properly, heat a cup of water until it's warm but not boiling. Stir in half a teaspoon of true Ceylon cinnamon, not the cheaper cassia variety you find in most grocery stores, and let it steep for about a minute. Add 1 teaspoon of raw honey once the water has cooled slightly, so the natural enzymes in the honey remain active and aren't destroyed by heat. Sip it slowly first thing in the morning or just before breakfast.